Alrighty, everyone, g'day. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Chat with Cardy podcast series. I'm probably just going to label a podcast. I mean, as I said in other episodes, it's closely described as a podcast. And as we progress and we move further with these little Chat with Cardys, I might even get a face cam involved, might get a couple of guests, we'll see. But it's something I want to get out every week on this second channel. And I meant to get it out every Thursday. I was just a little bit busy with a couple other things, just didn't really get round to it because obviously the second channel isn't the main priority, but I want to get to the stage where I start treating this second channel taking it a tiny bit more seriously. I know it's not my main. I don't really care that much, but I should start caring a little bit more because eventually the goal is probably getting this channel monetized because you never know. I don't actually know if this has ever happened where like someone's second channel has overtaken their main channel. I know it has, but like someone who's fairly established, right? So I'm eating Cocoa Pops. I should probably put them away. I'll finish them. So yeah, let's say YouTube channel's established. They've got a second channel. And let's say on their main channel they do basketball, but on their second channel, let's just say, oh well, I want to do, I don't know what's a difference, but they want to do golf, so they start uploading golf on their second channel, and then they eventually, even after not giving too much of a shit on the second channel, take over the main channel in terms of subscribers, and now I've got two separate channels that are exploding. I would imagine if something like that could happen to my second channel. Let's just say I upload, I don't know, gaming, or I don't know, because I don't really know exactly what, if I were to do that, what I would post on the second channel. It primarily be on the main. I'd have to have something that blows up on the second channel for that to happen and for me to, replicate that content. But, I just like to get monetized on this channel, and you'd think by next year that can be done. And also, you wouldn't suspect me, but the time that I am filming this, recording this, I should say, is 2:46 in the morning. I was procrastinating a bit in just filming this. I had a bit of a nap, so I can afford staying up late, but I do have to get up early tomorrow because I'm going to the city having a kick of the footy, which should be pretty handy dandy. It should be pretty good. I think before we do get into anything, I want to quickly just talk about the latest video that I put out. Now, if anyone hasn't watched it, I'd go and recommend watching it because I don't put out a shit video. I look back at some of my videos even a year ago, and I'm like, geez, there were so many things I could touch up on to make that video better. I don't know, I'm sure a year from now, I'll sit down October 30th and listen back on this and go, well, fuck me, some of the videos back then I could easily touch up on. But I don't put out a shit video. So when I, saw the analytics for the video I put out with Sammy, I was quite deflated. Compared to average, views were 45% less than what I usually get. And this isn't even, this is for like right now. Like in the footy season, it's probably 60, almost 70% less views into what I'd get after the first 10 or so hours. It's sitting on 1.2, 1.3K. It just did shit. I don't know exactly why that's the case. If it's the case, it's just the fact of the matter is because I re-uploaded, and that really did piss me off. So, the video is fine. I wanted to schedule it for 4 because that's just a simple. That's just when you upload videos. You got to get it out during the time when people come back from school. Because on a weekday, uploading a video at 1 p.m, you're just not going to get as many views in the first few hours as you will if you get it out at 4. It's just obvious. It's sort of obvious at this rate. But no, I don't know what happened. I didn't even realize until I got a notification for nice video. I'm like, didn't think of anything of it. I'm like, oh, okay, they obviously watched one of my older videos. And I go and look, fuck me, man. I look and I see that I uploaded my video that I went to get at 4. So in hindsight, what I probably should have done, I should have just kept it up. I would have got a lot more views if I would have kept it up, I reckon. The re-upload could have been the reason. Maybe the fact that I got Sammy on the channel and that he premiered a 24-minute video. Like, there are so many bits in his video that he did that he should have either taken out or added in. Like, I don't know. I don't get Sammy. I don't know if he'll ever improve on YouTube because there are so many things that are just the basics that he can never wrap his head around. And he hasn't really improved that much in his video quality since 1 or even 2 years ago. So I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that, but I'm hoping that this isn't like a preview of what's to come for this off season. Like, I'm getting a little bit nervous that a video like that I thought was a very good video does so shit. What the fuck is all my other videos going to perform? I don't think it's going to be the case. I think I'll be fine. I'm probably just overlooking it, but it's just something that it's like, look, I don't like when that's the case, but you're going to get a video that doesn't do great every once in a while, and that's, I would have to say, one of them. A few other examples. I think I got a Eston Melbourne vlog. It did, I think, even shitter in the first 10 hours. And that was during the footy season. So you're just going to get that video every once in a while. And funnily enough, Sammy was featured in that video as well. So maybe I just never won't get Sammy on the channel again. Yeah, also, earlier today, or earlier yesterday, since it's now 2:49, yeah, we got hit by some pretty big windstorms. Now, I went to bed relatively late last night. I can't exactly remember what I was doing, but I was editing the video. And yeah, so, and also watching the cricket, which we beat Sri Lanka, which was nice. That's 2 wins now. I think we play next. I don't. It might be West Indies. It might be England. It's someone. It might be Bangladesh. I don't know. But I might have actually streamed that potentially if it's sometime next week. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna probably wake up at 11 a.m. maybe 12. I'm expecting to wake up relatively late, but that's all right. And I was just while sleeping in the middle, like, just, I could sort of hear it while sleeping in a way, if that makes any sense. It's just insanely loud noises of the wind. It almost sounded like the house is falling down. I'm like, I didn't think anything of it because I hear that relatively often if it's windy, but I didn't know that it was that severe. And then when I woke up, although this happened like a little bit earlier than when I woke up, but when I woke up, I checked some of the damage, and fucking hell, like, people that I know, their houses were almost falling apart. Like, it was bad. I don't think it's as bad as what I'm suggesting as, like, their fucking houses, their roofs didn't collapse or anything, but like, literally, the guy in front of me, my neighbor in front of me, a fucking tree was in his backyard. We got a little bit of damage on our house as well. Like, a huge branch of a tree from the other house fall onto our fence, but luckily there was not much damage done at all. Only the top bit of the fence was damaged, but that was about it. But yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse. Apparently, a lot of things happened. Like, there was massive winds, upwards of 100 kilometers an hour, probably more in some places. It was pretty scary, I guess, but I wasn't up for it. It reminds me of something. It reminds me of the earthquake, really similar time when it happened, and just something you're just not expecting. Yeah, today I just realized, first day of the new restrictions. So tomorrow, that's going to be exciting. I can actually finally walk into a shop because there are a few things that I want to get for my setup. I need a new extension cord, like a 6 outlet extension cord, but it's not long enough for my setup, so I want to get that, and maybe a couple other things, maybe like a camera for like a standing camera for my desk. Just a couple of minor things that will make it a little bit easier with this new setup, which at the moment very, very good in itself. Yeah, I think I might talk a little bit about what I've been up to in the last couple of weeks. I know you might just be, you can watch the weekly vlog and you'll find that out firsthand, but I've been getting up to a lot more than what I have obviously over lockdown. Got to catch up with mates a bit more. I've been starting to work out. I've only done the one workout session as of yet because the mate I'm doing it with currently is a little bit busy with work and stuff. But I want to stay committed. I've been committed. I've been down whenever he's available. And he knows what he's doing. So that's something that I think over the next, longer than I guess next few months. But I want to see results. Because I'll be honest, I've never been very confident about my body, and I guess in a way in terms of the fact that I'm quite skinny. I don't know. Sometimes I like when I had the chance to, like, I'm like, oh, you could probably get away with wearing a shirt. But it's like, well, See, I don't fucking want people to know to see how skinny my arms are. So I'm just going to chuck a jumper on and just, play it off. So that's what I, have been doing in the past. And I probably don't want to be doing that, particularly not in the summer. So there, that's something that I've been doing and that I should hopefully be doing over the next few months and all that sort of stuff, which, yeah, it's good for myself. What else have I done? Obviously, caught up with mates, maintained YouTube videos, still getting out a few videos, probably not as frequent as if this was in the middle of the footy season, but still relatively frequent. Done more around the house. What else have I done? Because uni's not happening at the moment. It's the break, but to be honest with you, the whole fucking last trimester was a break for me. I did no work. Literally, it was shocking. I guess that's what's been going on, really. I was early catching up with a lot of other mates. I had one period, but I think 5 or 6 days in a row, I was out with people. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good to get out. Good to do things. And I also finally, the other day, booked my bloody L's, my driving L's. And you'd be like, well, fuck me, mate. Aren't you like 18 and you still haven't got them? Yeah, I know. You would think I'd have them by now. You think I'd probably almost have my P's by now, but no. There are a few reasons. I like to primarily blame it on COVID and the fact that fucked me over twice with just scheduling. Like, I really should have got it at the start of this year, or even probably not before because of COVID and stuff. And 2019, I didn't even want it, really. I didn't care for it until sort of the big one in 2020 ended, the lockdown. I'm like, I probably wouldn't mind getting it. And I don't have it still, but you would think I have it. I'll get it in the next week or two, and then because it's just been, I don't know, just something that I haven't really wanted until only sort of recently this year, and COVID's just been fucking me over. And then the time where I actually had the chance to, I forgot when the date was because I'm an idiot, and I got 72% on the test because I had to study all the day of the fucking exam. So that was potentially going to be included in a weekly vlog, but then I don't know what happened, but I just never got that weekly vlog out. So I guess, that's that on driving. If I've ever said it to anyone in a live chat or in person that I have driven, that would be a lie, because this is, that hasn't happened, but it should hopefully happen very soon. And hopefully over summer I can smash out some hours, potentially even by this time next year or the end of next year, I have my P's. Maybe. A mate of mine got his L's like 5-6 months ago, and he's almost halfway done. And this was during a lockdown, but mind you. So, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but what I am saying is that it's I'm quite late to the party. Although Ethan O'Donnell doesn't have his, so I can't be that late. But I guess it's Ethan O'Donnell. What do you expect? But yeah, I sort of just, I don't know why, if I did lie about it, I don't know why I did that. I don't see the point in lying, especially on my channel. Like, I want to be as transparent as possible. I want all my listeners to get the truth for myself, because I don't know, I sort of reveal a few things from my personal life that I don't want to really lie about. So yeah, there are a few things that I guess you could say is included. All right, let me go on my phone because there are a few more things that I want to touch over on my notes. All right, I've got times I've been given shit at school written down. I don't know what this is referring to. Like, times I've been given shit in terms of me being bullied, I guess. Because I guess you could argue that over a couple or 2 or 3 years, I was sort of given a hard time at school. Although, when I was in school, I would do some pretty stupid things. Particularly like very young. When I was in school, like year 7, 8, in high school. I just did stupid things for attention. And I have a feeling there are still people to this day who see me in a shite way because of a few of the things I did then. I think I changed later on and I stopped becoming a dickhead. But there would have been a few things that I probably would have, like, I don't know, what have I done in school that's stupid? Just thinking, like, things that I wouldn't do now. I'm just thinking, what are some examples? Well, this isn't an example. It's just something I wouldn't do again. I pissed in the middle of the school oval in the middle of a game of soccer. I'll probably say it's stupid, but I tried to do it for a little bit of attention. But the same way, it was like I don't really know why you do it. Like we still like if you're gonna take a piss on the oval, piss where the trees are at the very end of the oval where no one can see you, not in the fucking middle of the pitch. That was pretty stupid. I remember that. I'm like, fucking hell, why did I do that? Year 7 and 8, I think year 7, I used to when I was changing, I used to like flash people. Did I? Yeah, I think I actually fucking did do that in like year 7. I don't know what I was doing. I like had my really small at the time cock and bollocks out, and I was just walking around just showing people. I don't know why I did that. Like other people did that as a joke, but I think I actually did that not knowing what the fuck I was doing because I was still very unsure as a kid. I didn't know a lot of things back then, even year 7, year 8. It took me a while to sort of mature in a way because I didn't fucking hit puberty till I was like year 11. It was dark. I was fucking seeing doctors and shit. I was sort of, I wouldn't say it was bad, but it just got to the point where everyone at school was giving me a shit for it, or a lot of people were, because I still sounded like this. I still sounded like a little kid, like I was 16 and still sounding like this. You would watch any of the videos I even made in 2019. In fact, I'll bring one up right now as we speak. And I really did sound like I was in like year 6. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking while I was significantly late to the party. And when you're in high school, that's the worst because you just got people who just couldn't give a fuck. They'll just give you the hardest time, and they couldn't give a shit. And I'm not saying good on for that. I'm not condemning them. I'm sorry. I'm not applauding them for what they're doing. But I'm just saying it doesn't surprise me. I'm like, I guess fair enough into why they're doing that. But I wouldn't like. Don't bully. Bullying is bad. I wouldn't necessarily say I got bullied, but I got given a lot of shit. So I guess whatever you define as, whatever you put at the definition as bullying, I guess that could be it. I still have a fucking recording at high. I had like one of the shittest days of school, and I just was crying, and I recorded it. It was like something similar to this, but I really want to see if I can find it, because I think that would be very, very funny to watch. But yeah, let me just play a video. Let me just play this one. This was halfway through year 11. Yes, year 11. Let me just play the video, hear the voice. Will this play?
Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'll be revealing the winners for the round 8 winner margin comp, as well as revealing the game for the round 9 winner margin comp.
Now, obviously, you know when that was because I just told you. But with that, let's just say you had no idea, and this is just a random voice you heard. Put it in the comments for anyone watching this up until this part. Just like comment. Let's just say your guess was, I think that's an 11-year-old. Just type down 11-year-old. And type out like what year level you think I'm in there. Because honestly, I sounded like a fucking primary school student in that, and I was halfway through year 11. So that's a little bit of a snapshot of how you could imagine how it could have been pretty shit for me having to deal through that during that time. I mean, fuck me, like that was not great. Well, let me just. All right, what about this? This was fucking October 2021. 2019, sorry. Let me just play it. So this is like 4 or 5 months later.
The AFL captains, and if you want to have a look at the footy skills, Bulldogs.
I guess my voice is slightly deeper, but still. It only got to like middle of 2020 where it started, like you got to this, which fucking, that's late. I don't know, yeah, I did get, now I think about it, school was not great. I hated school. Well, I didn't hate school, but I hated a lot of things about school. And that's something that I'll probably go over in every fucking one of these podcasts, because there were so many things that pissed me off. I'll say a few things. Leaving homework to the last minute. I was a master at doing that. I don't know why I would do that. And still, I do that to this day with other things. I guess you could almost say uni assignments as well. I'd fucking just not even look at them until the day they're due. Because I guess it's just something like I don't want to do it. I guess if, let's just say I had this assignment. It was a 3-week assignment to do something. I don't know, a World War III assignment. And let's just say I had one due in 2 days and another one, the same assignment, but one's just due in 2 days and the exact same assignment's due in 3 weeks. Of course, the procrastination is going to be more significant in the one that's due in 3 weeks. I'm not going to start, like if I had both of the assignments, let's just say, and I got given them in separate time periods, but like obviously the due date, one's in 2 days, one's in 3 weeks. The one in 2 days, I'm starting a fucking shit ton sooner than the one that's due in 3 weeks. The one that's due in 3 weeks will be like, oh, well, I've got 3 weeks to complete this. I'm not going to worry about it for the first week. Second week, I might look into it. I might actually read through what I actually have to do. But like 90% of the time, I probably wouldn't start it. It would get to the stage where I've got 2, maybe 3, even 1 day left of the task where I go, right, might want to start working on this. A lot of the time, I end up getting it done on time, but probably done either half-assed or a little bit rushed. A lot of the time, that's the case with that stuff. I always end up finding a way out of it, but I'm sure I would have gotten a lot better marks, or I would have been a lot less stressed out, I should probably have to say, if I just started the fucking task a little bit earlier. Like, the ideal way of doing it either is getting it all done in the first week of the assignment, so rather than having to stress out about another assignment in the future, you can just sort of relax. Or balance it out. Maybe for a few days in the first week, maybe set 30 minutes to an hour on the task and just progressively get like that would be a lot better in hindsight, but obviously that didn't happen. Can you hear my fan on my laptop going off? I hope you can't, because that's not what you want to hear in one of these sort of podcast things. You want the audio to be good. I don't know, I guess I'll see in the review if it's the case. I can just put a filter on the audio. But that was shit. I remember one time I had like some stupid assignment. Well, I think it was on Albert Einstein. I just thinking about it, the amount of stuff you learn in school that you just never fucking find useful in life later on down the track is mind blowing. Like, I'd say 90 to 95% of stuff in school I've forgotten. So and I'll probably touch on that a little bit later on, to be honest with you. But anyways, an Albert Einstein task. It was like 10:30 at night. I always do that where I like stay up till night, and I just realized, oh shit, something really important happened that I need, and what do I do? Because 10:30 and all the shops are closed, and all my parents are about to go to sleep, and that is just they're all the ingredients to set off a fucking massive argument at 11 o'clock at night on a school day, which is the last thing you want, especially when you still got an assignment to finish off. Anyways, I think I needed to. And in hindsight, the task was shit. I'll talk a lot more on it in like a couple minutes. But anyways, we'll talk about what actually happened. So, obviously didn't have any ink in the cartridge, so I couldn't print out my assignment. And I think I needed to have it printed out, like a printed sheet of paper, because there was an expo. So everyone, I think had to make their own assignment on an inspirational person. Which, if that was the case, I don't think Albert Einstein ever inspired me to do fucking anything. He was obviously an inspiration to other people, but I just think I picked him because he was easy to fucking research on. Like, I didn't know who was I going to do, an inspirational person. Shannon Humphreys? Well, he's not inspiration, but just could you quite imagine if someone actually did that? And I would like to know if they would get any marks for it, or if someone's just like, nah, you can fuck off. Or would I be allowed to be as an like if someone said anyone, you could do one on anyone, and someone, let's just say, I don't know, one of my subscribers, without me knowing, did one on Cardman22, would the teachers be like, fuck, this person's insignificant, do a new one? Or will they actually mark that kid or mark that student on the task? Imagine someone does that. I'm not telling anyone to do that, though. I don't know why anyone would be inspired by the stuff that I do. But if that's the case, then that's a bonus. But at the same time, not a great idea. Probably just do what I do and just do Albert Einstein. So I don't have any paper. Late at night, no ink cartridges, didn't know what to do. I think I didn't have paper, and it might have been another issue, but I think that was the major one. So I had to go to my fucking neighbour's house at 11 p.m. and print. And I just remember how stressed I was at the time, because it was worth a fair amount of my grade, or at least I think it was. But that's just an example I can think of. And on the side note as well, with those sort of expo things, Like you get some students that put way too much fucking effort and they just fucking put way too much effort into a certain project, like a lot more than what you really need to. Like most of the people just do half-assed bare minimum to get a decent enough mark, whilst there'd be others that do more than what is required. I don't see the point in doing that. Like I remember we had this project, we had to get a minimum of 20 points. All right, and I got like, you have to like complete a certain task. Obviously, an easy task is worth 1. As it gets harder, it's worth 5, and you sort of got to do different ones on different topics. Those, in hindsight, weren't actually that bad. I actually didn't. Well, I didn't enjoy them at the time, but I probably would have enjoyed them more now if I did them now compared to then. Anyways, when I see that, I go 20 is the minimum. Most people, I'm sure most people listening would probably just go for 20. Like, okay, 20 minimum. That's what's required to complete the task. Why the fuck would I go for 30? There'd be some students doing excess of 35, 40 points. Why? Are you just fucking killing yourself? I don't see the point in that. Like, it's not like that is the only thing I have on. I've got other things, particularly schoolwork. That's another thing I don't like. The amount of schoolwork you get, like, it's just so annoying, especially homework. Like, even in later years, like, every fucking day I'd get homework, and it'd be 1 to 2 hours of homework and just pile on top of each other. It's like, fucking hell, I've got to study for 3 exams on one day. Fuck that. So surely, if I want to actually get a decent mark for a couple of these exams, you'd spread them out. That just pissed me off. I think for my year 12 exams, I had 2 year 12 exams on one day. Fuck that shit. Like, I don't know what's the best, but I don't think having 2 on one day is a good thing, especially considering that for my second 2 exams in one day period, my second exam was 30 minutes after my fucking first one. That is the worst thing you could ever want, because it's not like the exams go for an hour. They go for like 2-3 hours. So all the stuff, I think the PE one was second, all the stuff that was ingrained in my brain for PE, a lot of it was gone after the geography exam, because I'm focusing on geography, all my brain knowledge is going to be towards that. After it, I'm exhausted, and oh wait, 20 minutes later I've got to do another one on PE, and I did shit in PE. If you saw my ATAR video, I think that was one of my worst subjects. Yeah, the exam I did shit because I had a fucking second one afterwards, and I was the only person as well, I think, to have to do those 2 topics, geography and PE. So I got fucked in the ass for that one, and that really pissed me off. So that's one thing, leaving your homework to the last minute. That's a pretty shit feeling, knowing that it's 7 o'clock. Actually, quickly, before we move on to something else. I remember one time, I had this assignment task, and for the whole time I was thinking it was going to be a minor task, so I didn't look at it. That's mistake number 1, not looking at what you're actually meant to do until... all I knew was that I had tasks due at a certain day. I'm like, okay. Based off what's done previously in this certain class, I don't think it's going to be too much of a strain. It's probably going to take me an hour. It was like 9:30. What I did was, decide, 9:30, let's give it a look. Let's just do it. It's going to take an hour. It's going to be easy. It's going to be all chill, or we get it done tomorrow. No, I had a look at it, and fuck, it was ridiculously long. It was shit times, 5-10 times as more than what I expect to do. I'm like, just panicking, like going, I've got school the next day. That teacher, the one that we had, is extremely strict. She's going to actually kill me. So what I did, I told my parents, can I just pretend to be sick tomorrow because I had an assignment due the next day or whatever it was, and I didn't want to go to school, confront her. I think I had to print it out and leave it at her desk. That's what it was. If it was an electronic submission, it'd be different, because if I had to get it out at Friday 4 p.m, it wouldn't have mattered if I went to school or not. Anyways, I faked being sick. I told my parents, yeah, fuck. And for whatever reason, they let me do it. But they weren't happy with me, but they let me do it. And that's what I did. I got away with it. I just decided, I'll do it over the weekend. Did that on Monday. First thing, dropped off the work to my teacher. She's like, oh, thank you. She did not bat an eyelid. But I guess other times you might not get as lucky. Like a few times I did the same thing, But I can't just not go to school, particularly in year 11 or 12. I'm like, oh, fuck. Shit. You know, this is going to take me 4 or 5 hours. And for whatever reason, I decided to check at 11 p.m. to see what I had to do. And it's due the next day. Also, crap, when you're like at school and then you just think to yourself, just like, oh, do I have any homework for English? Or do I have homework for maths? Oh, god damn it. I've got to write 2 paragraphs for Mr. McConkey. First period. Fuck. And that is the worst when it's English as well. I just feel like English is like... I hated English so much. But like, oh, when you realise, when someone reminds you if you've done the homework and you haven't done it, that's the shittest feeling. One of the shittest feelings. Because it's like, yeah, well, no soccer at lunch. You know, no lunchtime for me today because I'm going to have to stay in and do the work, which unfortunately has happened to me more times than I wanted it to happen. But that's because, again, I was not just focusing on school and homework, but I had a YouTube channel that I was making 2, 3, 4 videos a week during year 12. Well, now looking back on it, I don't know how I managed that. Well, I actually do know how I managed it. I just cared more about that for most of the year than I really cared about a lot of the stuff I was doing at school. Obviously, I wasn't an idiot. I didn't fucking upload 3, 4 videos during year 12. I gave it a little bit of a break, but at the same time, you know, I was probably not putting in as much effort as I probably could have. For stuff like school, I never put in 100% effort. I just didn't quite care as much as some people might. So I often half-ass a lot of stuff that I do. But for YouTube, it's different. For whatever reason, I'm more motivated for YouTube. I don't know. I don't really fucking know why, but that's just the case. And I guess if I get more videos with views like the one that I got out with Sammy, maybe that motivation might drop. So let's hope that's not the case because... Sorry, I was just checking how many views it had, which isn't a lot. Yeah, that was fucking took me ages. Well, yeah, so homework, that's crap. First day of school is also shit, particularly after holidays. Mondays are not great. When I have to wake up in the morning knowing that it's a Monday, thinking that for whatever reason it was a Sunday, or hoping that it was a Sunday and realizing shit I've got school today, is a crap feeling because I don't want to wake up early in the morning. I really don't want to get out of bed because it's just such a especially Monday mornings because you have to get into the routine again. If it's a Friday, it's not that bad. It's like, okay, well, I know tomorrow's the weekend. You know, I can hopefully have a decent day at school. But, you know, when you've got to wake up early, especially when it's cold as well, you know, you want to snuggle up in your bed under the sheets. You're tired because you're an idiot. You watched YouTube till 3:30 the night before and you're up at 7:30. You only had 4 hours of sleep and you just realize, oh, fuck, I forgot that I have a maths exam period 3 and it's first day back. Yeah, I can't think of many other situations where I'd rather want to die in. Like, that is one of the worst, really. Yeah, it's pretty crap in the morning when you wake up from school after that, especially if it's the holidays or like the 2-month holiday, like the obviously the summer holidays, the long one. I guess that's as bad. It's particularly back in the early years when you like had the anticipation of having a new year. Who's going to be in your class? And that's what we had for year 7, 8, and 9 in primary school. And then they decided to do something called rollover, where they started the next year level 3 weeks early. That's something I just didn't understand. I don't know if other schools do that. I'm sure they do, but I don't know if all schools do. I don't think they do. Why would you bother? Why wouldn't you just have the school year end at the fucking end of the year? That's the only... end before the end of the summer break. That is the only way that would make sense. You know, year 7. You know, 2015 for me. That was all of year 7. Ended 2015 and ended year 7. And then after the summer holidays, I come back to school. We start year 8. All right, we find out who's in our class. Who are our teachers? It's actually quite exciting coming back to school after the summer holidays. Well, not really, but it's like a lot more than what it would be when rollover happened, where we let's just say year 9 heading to year 10. We start year 10 in 2017, 3 weeks early for no reason. And then the only reason they fucking decide us to do that is so they can give us all the homework for year 10 over the summer holidays. So instead of having no homework, let's just say if you're in year 8, heading to year 9 next year, you already finished all your work for year 8, but for fucking year 9, you already started year 9. They're all the fucking subjects are going to give you these long-ass homework tasks that you're just not going to start until the last few days. And then that is just shit. You know when it's the holidays and just no one ever starts their homework at the start of the holidays. They just don't give a fuck until it reaches the last few days and you're really going, fuck. Well, I don't think there's been a single time where I've actually ever completed any of the homework that I've done before holidays have ended. It's always eaten up into school. I've always looked on my compass going, okay, I've got English on Wednesday and school's back on Monday. So I don't have till English till Wednesday, so I can start the task on the Tuesday rather than just start it during the holidays. But that's something that I don't want to do. So I don't know. I still do that as well, but not to the extent of what I did during school. And that's the worst, delaying home. Everyone does it. And it's the worst, probably the worst feeling, first day back on school, knowing that you still haven't done your homework and you've got 2 classes for that, for the homework due on that day. So, not great. Not great at all. What else we got? I just got something written down, breaking stuff. Should I go through all the experiences where I've broken something somewhat valuable? Alright, we'll do that. I guess the first ever time I remember breaking something somewhat valuable would have been 2011. Or 2012, I think 2011. So 2011, the first time I ever got my own, I guess, device. Now, the thing is, compare then to now, where I feel like every person over the age of 4 years old at least has an iPad. Now, and back then, most people, well, it was still 2011, but still most people wouldn't have had a device. Most kids wouldn't have had a device, whether it be a phone, whether it be an iPad, whether it be an iPod Touch. I actually got given an iPod Touch for my 8th birthday. I was fucking over the moon. Alright, if I had what I had then, 10 years from then, now, I'd be like, this is a piece of shit. But obviously back then, it's new technology at the time, I was ecstatic. I took it everywhere with me, took photos and videos on it, downloaded all the latest games on it. I don't know if I watched YouTube back then, because, technically, YouTube's meant for 13 and over. I know I started watching YouTube before then. I don't think anyone started watching YouTube when you had to start watching it over 13. But yeah, I can remember how excited I was when I had that iPod Touch. And then I remember the end of the year, I don't know what happened, but I just destroyed it. It fucking shattered. It was screwed. And I was so upset. I'm like, oh my God, it was cracked. No, it wasn't actually destroyed, as in I couldn't use it again, but it was fully cracked down the middle of the screen. It was pretty unusable. And the front facing, there wasn't no front, sorry, the back, the camera on the iPod Touch was shit as well. So I think I had to get the screen replaced for that. Either that or it's still screwed. But I haven't used it since, so I don't know. What else? I had a pretty decent track record until I started getting more of my own devices. I got an iPad in 2015 for school, year 7. And it would have been... Now, I can't remember exactly when during 2017, but it would have been sometime during 2017. It was a drama class, last period of the day. Everyone had left their iPads on the table. And someone else in the class, and this is an accident, I'm not going to name names or anything, if for whatever reason, in God's chances that person's watching this, listening to this, which there are none because he doesn't watch my videos, he picked up his iPad, but he sort of picked it up I don't know what happened, but he picked it up, his iPad, and he accidentally knocked mine off the table. He like picked up by the case or whatever, and it like sort of just, it was like a domino effect. It led to my iPad falling off the table, and it went face first, smashed onto the ground. I heard it. I'm like, oh fuck, whose is that? And I had a look, it was mine. Then I go to the floor and it was shattered. And I just had an empty feeling inside of me. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? What the fuck? I'm in the middle of class, end of class. What do I want to know to everyone? Because deep down of me, I was still in year 7. I was most likely gonna cry. I think I did cry. I don't know if I cried there. If they could see me visibly crying, I'm sure they probably could have. But I was pretty fucking distraught for the rest of the day. When I walked back home on the train, I don't think I said a word because my fucking iPad was fucked. And it was weird because I think, like, it wasn't even that big of great of a fall. Like, the way I'm describing it sounds like I dropped it from, like, the fucking Eiffel Tower. Although, if I did that, obviously you wouldn't be able to use it again. But like, it was only like a meter tall, if that, the table. Maybe even, yeah, it would have been less than a meter tall, but it just fell straight on its face. But the thing is, iPads are quite brittle and quite fragile. Particularly, not just iPads, but all phones and iPhones back in the day. Like, literally. I remember my dad got the new iPhone and he came back from work one day. My little sister at the time was like 3. She asked to hold it. She just dropped it and it smashed. It shattered. The amount of times I've dropped my phone, even without a case on, and it's been fine. Like, not even a scratch. Well, yes, a scratch, but not even a crack. So, obviously, they've made the phones a lot more durable now, which is a good thing. But yeah, back then, the iPad fucking shattered and I was pissed off. I had to get the screen replaced. And I think ever since I got the screen replaced, that iPad hasn't been the same. Because I remember, like late that year, my iPad started like glitching. Where it would like random buttons would be pressed on the iPad screen without me pressing them. I was so fucking pissed at that as well. Like I remember when that happened. It happened for a while. It happened late of year 7 and then heading into year 8 as well over the fucking summer holidays. I was like sort of, you could argue it was unusable, the iPad. And I don't know how it was fixed. I think it just fixed itself. I decided to trade iPads with my dad's work iPad, and I started using that. And for whatever reason, as soon as I gave my dad my glitchy iPad, the glitch stopped. And it was weird because I decided, all right, I'm gonna bring my iPad, the one that had the glitch, back to school the next day, and of course, fucking third period science, it started happening again, and I fucking burst into tears. It was far from ideal. Far from ideal. But yeah, I remember this. So, but I guess those 2 times it wasn't my fault at all, because I really didn't do anything. Like, it was that guy's fault. I didn't fucking destroy it. I remember as well. Like, there were a few other instances. The amount of times I used to put a hole in the wall. Like, I stopped doing that. For whatever reason, I remember just vividly, I was just really pissed off because I hurt my back. So I just elbowed the wall and like put a hole in it. I didn't know what to do. And my dad, he gives a shit about his house. If you just damage something, even if at the slightest, if there's a scratch on the wall, he gets so pissed off. I think he overreacts in the way. I think myself, if I had owned a house and like there was a slight little scratch on the wall, I'd be pissed off, right? But I wouldn't fucking throw him. Like, I wouldn't. He sort of loses it when something like that happens, and I didn't think it was gonna be as bad as what it was, but he got fucking pissed when I did that. And then again, for whatever reason, I thought it was a good idea to take speckies on my bed. I just put a knee through the wall. And I honestly didn't know what to do, because not only did I put a knee through the wall, but that was around the time when we were moving house. So we needed to keep the house in spick and span condition, like in fucking top-notch shape. And I just put fucking me knee a wall through the house. And you could imagine when he saw that. And I had to cover that for a while, because it's like, well, I don't really want to know. I don't want fucking him to know that I did that, particularly not at the current moment of time. So I was putting it off for a couple of weeks until I think I put like a poster on my wall or whatever. He took the poster off for whatever reason. He saw, and oh my fucking god, he went off. And that I wasn't even in the room at the time. But he got really pissed off. I remember as well, I broke the light in my sister's room. So this was my parents were out, my sister was out. I was with my other sister. I got told to put her to bed. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fluff your blankets for you. I thought I was doing something really good for myself. Fluffed the blankets. I stupidly threw the blanket up to the roof, and it shattered the ceiling light, and it just fell to the floor. And well, I was like, well, fuck. When they go home, they're gonna kill me. And in hindsight, I should have just told him the next day because he got home really late. I didn't know that he already was in a shit mood when he got home because of traffic and just stuff from the past. And I told him about it, and yeah, I wouldn't have liked to be myself at the time because didn't fucking end well. I also broke my sister's bike. Now that I think about it, so many stupid things I did back in the day. So this is just fucking stupid. I still don't know why I did that. I recently got a new bike, and I was just all excited about it. And my old bike, not knowingly, looked ridiculously similar to my sister's current bike. I looked at my old bike. I'm like, well, fuck this piece of shit. It's been a piece of shit for that long. I'm glad I got a new bike. I saw my dad's pitchfork or whatever. I think it was an axe. I don't know. Whatever it was something I shouldn't have been using because I was like, I was in year 9, but still, I probably shouldn't have been using a fucking axe or whatever it was. I decided to just fucking hack the bike. I thought it was my bike. It's my sister's bike. I hacked at the seat badly. Like, I just hacked it big time. And then, you know, the seats, it's not great, but you can still ride a bike, I guess, with a matted seat. Just fix the seat. The bike's still usable. I decided to just go at it at the wheel, and I started just smacking the wheel, denting it at all costs, and I started just pulling apart the gears. Like the fucking bike was just about unusable. Just about. For whatever reason, I ended up fixing the bike ended up fixing itself, but I'll explain a bit of it later on. And yeah, I just left it there. I'm like, okay, I just did that. Okay, well, that's alright. I'm never gonna be using that bike again. Well, a couple of days later, I just thought, oh, my dad wanted to go on a bike ride with me and my sister. My sister goes on to ride her bike. She goes, what the fuck happened to the seat? She thought rats sort of, bit into the seat. I'm like, oh, I already knew it was not rats. I already knew that I was in a fucking shit situation, that they're going to find out that I destroyed the bike. I later told them that I used the axe to destroy the seat, but I didn't tell them about the fucking wheel. And I should have fucking done that. Because then she started to try to ride the bike, and she goes, what the fuck is up with my bike? She's like, what's going on? She can't ride the bike. So I had to confess. And again, I got given a fucking bunch of shit. I was told that I had to spend my money to fix the bike. And at the time, I didn't have a job. I didn't have any. I had like maybe $180. So I had to use all that money on the bike to fix it. Which for whatever reason, it ended up getting fixed. I don't know how, but it did. But I was probably more pissed about the fact that I had to spend all my money on fixing the bike. So that was just stupid, really. I don't know why I did that. I really don't know why I did that. Like, no good came out of that. I remember also, you probably would have saw the Gold Coast vlog, but this is my own equipment. This is starting to get into the stuff that I actually bought myself. An action cam, I only had it for 2 weeks. Forgot to put the waterproof case on it. It destroyed itself. A couple of my lights, my old YouTube lights, they broke. My laptop, I broke that at school. Fucking first week after I took it to school, I had a laptop case, and I brought it around school, but for whatever reason, it had to be out of the laptop case. And I still think to this day, I still don't know exactly what happened, but I had it at school in the case, and it got moved underneath a chair leg or a table leg, and someone with all their force sat down on the chair, not knowing that my laptop was under it, to shatter the screen. And I just remember opening my laptop in the middle of class and looking at a massive smash in the middle of the laptop, and I'm just going, holy crap, that laptop cost $1,500, and I just smashed it after the first month. Like, I had it, I got it for Christmas, and I had it for the first 3-4 weeks in the school holidays, but then for the first week at school, I shattered the laptop. Well, the first 2 weeks. Anyways, it was shit. I was really pissed off. And funnily enough, to this day, that was the laptop that I used for YouTube until I got my new one. So I was still using the shattered laptop that I'd never bothered to fix the screen because I didn't want to replace it. I didn't want to spend money on it, to the point until I started to change. I used a new laptop, which was mid this year. And the laptop was like, the fact that it had a smashed screen wasn't the problem. It was just the fact that it wasn't built for YouTube. It was just not a YouTube laptop. So I wasn't able to withstand what I wanted it to do, which was streaming, editing, and gaming, and all that sort of shit. So it had nothing to do with the smashed screen. And then I also remember I got a replacement laptop from Dell because of that, like a warranty. I ended up fucking that one up as well. That one's even worse than the current one. So for whatever reason, I don't know what happened, but oh no, I remember what happened. So I decided, I was using my laptop. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to leave it on my bed. This is a dumb idea to do. Don't fucking leave your laptop on your bed. And don't put your blanket over the laptop, because you never know. You'll forget that you had it there. Something's going to happen. I just decided to leap into my bed, and my elbow went straight onto the fucking laptop, and I dented the screen popped out. For whatever reason, I messed something up internally with the laptop. I popped it back in. I thought, oh, okay, hopefully we're all fine. Yeah, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, middle of class, I opened up my laptop, and it was just all these lights and stuff playing over the laptop, and the laptop just sort of shut itself. So I have not had a great history at all with equipment and technology just breaking stuff. But as of late, I've been alright actually. I haven't really done anything too major or severe. But a lot of the times, that was a few years ago, but I've sort of stopped in that way. Yeah. I don't know. Why do I feel like in terms of when people get their first phones, that it's becoming earlier and earlier as generations advance. I almost swore that back 15, 20 years ago, I know I wasn't really alive I couldn't remember that time back then. People got their first phones when they were like 16, like 17. And many people apparently that I knew got their first phones when they were an adult, right? Which isn't too much of a surprise, but fucking there are people with phones when they're 8 or 9. Like, is that too young? I still subscribe to the fact that you shouldn't have a phone in primary school. You don't need a phone in primary school. Now, if you're watching this and you're in primary school and you have a phone, I'm not dissing you at all. All I'm saying is that I just feel like when you're in high school, that's when you should start transitioning to a phone. Because you probably do need one. For a lot of reasons, but the reason you probably should have one, or the reason that the phone's designed for, really, is so if you're in an emergency and you're out, because you're taking the train to school or whatever, and in an emergency, you can actually call your parents telling them, oh, this and that, that if they can help you or something. I don't know, but I don't know why you would need a phone in primary school. Like, I don't know, just have an iPad or something. Have something that doesn't take calls. Because I don't think you want to have little kids with their own fucking phone number. Because you never know what the fucking shit they could do. They're too immature. What they could do stupid things. Funnily enough, I didn't get my first phone till I was in year 8. I don't know why. my parents didn't trust me with a phone. Well, they didn't trust me. I just didn't have one. And I just had my iPad for me in the first year, in year 7. I just didn't see it was that big of a deal, really. I'm pretty sure most people had a phone, but not everyone, I don't think. But it got to the stage where I'm like, well, yeah, I wanted a phone. Everyone else had a phone. I wanted to have a phone as well. And yeah, I had a phone for like a hand-me-down phone for like 6 years, like a pretty shitty iPhone 5. And then I got a new phone. I think it was an iPhone SE or whatever. And then I got an iPhone 8 in 2018, end of 2018, and that's the phone I still have. And it's not bad, but it's just fucking getting to the stage where I need a new one. It's been 3 years since I've had it, and the storage and the battery is dog water, and I need a new one. But I don't think I'm going to be getting a new one unless I want to pay for it. And fuck that, over summer, I'm saving my money. I'm not buying a new phone, so either I can convince a way to get a new one over summer, or I just have to hold or stay with the phone that I have at the moment until then. But yeah, I've only ever had 2 phones, proper phones, which now that I'm 18 and a half, that's not that many phones, really, when you think about it. Like, my youngest sister's already been through more phones than I have. Literally, she's just fucking lost them or broken them. She's into her 3rd or 4th almost. She just keeps she's going to get a hand-me-down of an iPhone 3 at this rate because she just lost her phone on when was it, last Thursday, and it's currently almost Saturday. And she still hasn't found it yet. She still fucking hasn't found it yet. It's been 10 days. So I literally don't fucking know what she's like. I don't know how she can do that. She didn't go out of the house with it, and she's lost her phone. It's been 10 days. I'll be more than just pissed if she gets given the new phone as a result of it. Like, surely the ideal scenario would be my dad goes to the Optus store, gets the new iPhone or whatever, or not even an iPhone 11, that's fine. Gives it to me. She can have that iPhone 8 that I've been dreading. She can have fun with the shitty storage and the shitty battery for losing the phone. That's like 3 or 4 times it's happened as well. It's like not even the first time, not even the second time. A quadruple offender. Yeah, so, you know, I thought I was bad with my technology, but she's becoming almost as bad at herself. But yeah, as I said earlier, I think, you know, when you get into high school, that's when you get a phone. Primary school, too young, in my opinion. But at the same time, I guess it doesn't really matter, really, when someone gets their first phone. But I feel like I've always been late to the party for my time. Mid-year 8, getting your first phone. Although there are people such as Sammy GFC who don't have a phone yet, and they're almost 16. So that is something to think of as well. Anyways, it's approaching the hour mark on this. I really feel like this one I've just been sort of talking about. Well, I guess every episode I talk about shit, but this one, I feel like it's a bit more shit involved in this one than all the other ones that I've done. I've sort of gone off a tangent multiple times on just random stuff. But you'll enjoy it probably. If you enjoyed the first 2, you'll enjoy this one. Do you want guests? Like, I know a couple wanted me to do guests, but who do you want me to get on? Like, maybe, I don't know. I feel like it'd have to be someone like a Mitchy Ryan or a UCAT or a Ryder or a Geordie or someone like that where I could genuinely have a decent convo with. I don't know if I'll get a real life mate on for this. Maybe if this kicks off. I don't know. Don't think it'll kick off, but I think it should sustain an audience. How many views did the last one get? Let me have a look. The last one got... So the first one is almost on 900 views, which is pretty good. 570. If we can get 500 views an episode, I'm taking that because watch time's alright. I reckon for the next episode I might talk about my rabbit, so stay tuned for some rabbit stories. But that is it for this one. Appreciate everyone for listening in, and it should be out from Thursdays onwards. So I guess keep an eye out every Thursday for a chat with Cardy. But I guess this one's on at Saturday. So yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for listening, I should say, not watching unless you're right, Angie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.